Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zane here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're just jumping back into things. Of course, I am still using Sam Pendelis' team for a little bit longer. Then afterwards, I think I'm going to switch to some of the other top-performing teams at Worlds, since a lot of them had really cool tricks, and both the World Champion and one of the Japanese players that got top 4 at Worlds uploaded their teams, I think, through QR code team. So I'm pretty excited to try that out, but once again, huge thank you to Zelda for allowing me to use this team, and give him guys a follow at Zelda VGC. That's linked in the description below. And as always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I really appreciate it. Currently just under the 1700s, so my goal was to at least get into the 1700s with this team, so hopefully we do manage to get that somewhat, soon. But our first opponent of the day is going to be Mark with a team of Garchomp, Tapu Fini, Muck, Arcanine, Kartana, and Aerodactyl. I'm really not a fan of the Aerodactyl here, just because it's faster than everything. Rock Slide does a lot to a lot of things here as well, so not particularly fond of that. It canceling my berries is also pretty annoying because I do have 3 Pokemon with berries here with Arcanine, Tapu Lele, and Xurkitree. So, let's see. You could also taunt me, so I can't really just freely lead Mandibuzz. It's also a concern. So, lots of annoying stuff here. I think I'm probably going to go Arcanine with Garchomp in the back. Mandibuzz is like slightly tempting since foul play damage output is decent against Garchomp, Arcanine, Kartana, even Aerodactyl. I don't like Ninetales here too much because of how much my opponent can hit me with the super effective damage. I might just go Lele Xurkitree though. Like those have pretty great offensive presence. Yeah. I'm still like not entirely comfortable on when to bring Mandibuzz. And that makes things a little bit tricky, like, because I think one thing that Sam did really well, that I thought was really cool, was in the World's Finals, he brought Mandibuzz without Tapu Lele, just because it's a Pokemon that's, unlike Drifloon, I feel like Drifloon is really hard to use if you don't bring Tapu Lele, but with Mandibuzz, it can fit a lot of the times, even if you're not bringing Lele, but I don't know, I'm just not entirely comfortable with that right now. So I'm going to go with my Garchomp and my Aerodactyl, or sorry, my Garchomp and my Arcanine against my opponent's Garchomp and Aerodactyl, so I will get the Intimidate off against both these physical type attackers, so that's a pretty solid start to begin with, but still not exactly like the easiest of positions to climb out of. So let's see, I could easily protect turn 1 with Arcanine. I'm probably going to want to swap out, and I think Lele would be the safest option. I also just don't want to take I don't want the Garchomp to Swords Dance. I'm also pretty worried about that actually. So, I mean, I could Helping Hand Tectonic Rage Garchomp right now, but obviously, like, that would go downhill if my opponent just protects Garchomp and Tailwinds. I also don't want to just lose Arcanine. So, I guess maybe switch into Tapu Lele and just go immediately for Tech Rage. Because that means if my opponent doesn't protect Garchomp, it takes a lot of damage. I don't think Tech Rage will knock out, unfortunately, since I'm not max attack investment, but I'll still, put it in like 10%. And if it does protect, I'll get some free damage enough where it definitely will faint to like a Moonblast. But that might be Scarf Chomp, actually. The more I think about it, I think it is. Yeah, we just see a Dragon Claw come out. Okay. So, I don't like take that super well, but I do get the Rough Skin. I do confirm it's Scarf Chomp, which I really could have guessed, actually. And Skydrop actually comes out. That's super solid for me. Because what that means is now Garchomp is pretty much forced to switch out. Like, you can't Dragon Claw Tapu Lele, obviously. So, whatever comes in, Tectonic Rage against it is pretty solid. I could also Swords Dance, but Tech Raging is probably safer. So, I'll try to get, Tectonic Rage off against that slot, and I think I will just Psyshock immediately against the Aerodactyl. Yeah, I like that play. Because now Aerodactyl's intimidated, it will lose its Focus Sash, and Garchomp does switch out, nothing too surprising there, into Tapu Fini. Okay. Yeah, so Fini was probably the best switch in for my opponent. So I could have Rock Slided and Psyshock to knock out Aerodactyl, because now the downside is my opponent can get a Tailwind up, and that's not good for me. Yeah, so Skydrop doesn't knock me out. Take some Rough Skin damage. Aerodactyl, once again at -1. The reason why I didn't want to just Psychic and Rock Slide was because if I knock out Aerodactyl, then my opponent gets a free switch and back into the Garchomp, but then I suppose it can't Earthquake freely, so maybe I should have just denied Tailwind, because now with Tailwind up, that's going to be, it's going to be a lot trickier for me to play this game. So, yeah, turn 1, like, didn't fully expect the play my opponent made. Confirmed it was Scarf Chomp, but probably could have played a little bit safer. Tech Rage here still does a lot of damage against the Feeny. It's not buried either, so maybe leftovers. And Psyshock here should bring Aerodactyl, down. Okay. So now... it's a free Rock Slide here with my Garchomp. I'm not sure that knocks out... I'm not sure that will knock out Tapu Fini, but... like, Rock Slide plus Calm Mind is the play that I want to make right now. Yeah. I think that's my safest option. Because even if my opponent does have Kartana in the back, I at least have the Intimidate with my... and Tapu Fini does protect, as expected. So, I'm going to get the boost, which is really important against this Tapu Fini specifically, but I didn't deny Tailwind very well, so that's something I could have thought of a little bit harder. Like, I'm thinking maybe I should have just Rock Slide and Psyshock last turn, but I really wanted the guaranteed free damage off here. Rock Slide does connect with Aerodactyl. That's actually a big deal because I have 3 Pokemon, like I mentioned, with Pinch Berries, so the Tapu Lele, the Xurkitree, and the the Arcanine. So now this means with Aerodactyl out of the field, I can just freely go for, or I can, use my berries once again. But yeah, like turn 1, I think switching out Arcanine there is probably the safer call anyway, because if it is Scarf Chomp, you can just Rock Slide Earthquake turn 1, and that would, if I just stay in with Arcanine, that'd be pretty bad. So yeah, it's kind of a weird game so far. Like my opponent, I would say maybe has the upper hand because Tailwind is up, but I know that that's a Scarf Chomp in the back, which is already helpful. And I think my opponent might want to bring in his or her 4th Pokemon right now. It might be Muck, and if that's the case, like that'd be pretty nice because I've got Arcanine for the switch in. The main reason why I brought Arcanine in for this matchup was because I felt like Intimidate was just super, super important overall. And it's actually Kartana. Okay, so good to confirm that. We know Garchomp's my opponent's last Pokemon. Feeny protected last turn, so I can't protect this turn. So you gotta ask, like, do you Muddy Water here? Muddy Water might not knock out Garchomp. It also doesn't have leftovers, which is interesting, nor can it be choiced. So I'm wondering what item it has. Like, my safest play is to withdraw Garchomp out into Arcanine and protect Tapu Lele. But I don't want to eat a Muddy Water up. But the other thing is, Kartana could just Leaf Blade Garchomp and a Muddy Water come out. And that would be pretty bad. So I think I will just protect Lele and switch out into Arcanine. It's just my safest play. The reason why is because if Kartana makes a really hard read and Leaf Blades the Garchomp, then it'll cancel out the Beast Boost, or the Intimidate will be negated by the Beast Boost, and then so Kartana will be at neutral again. Although, actually, Kartana probably doesn't knock me out here anyway, so I should have just attacked. I forgot that this Lele is like max HP and defense, but I do have to worry about a Z move as well. We do just see Smart Strike come out. Okay, into Lele. Nice. And a Scald. Okay. Hopefully that procs my berry. Ooh, wow, it actually doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Smart Strike definitely won't knock me out now. Scald will. Probably knock out Garchomp. But that's okay. I'm just going to Psyshock. Actually, Moonblast is probably better at this point. The Feeny. And switch back out into Garchomp to get another Intimidate off. Yeah, I like that. Just because I know Lele will definitely take a Smart Strike now, and I'll be able to get another Intimidate off. Arcanine also provides more use in general at this point in the game, I think. We do just see a Smart Strike come out. Yep, targeting Lele, but I should survive that. Yeah, I should have attacked last turn, actually. And here's a Scald coming out. Maybe doubling up onto Lele. Nope, just knocking out Garchomp. I actually hang on, wow, with 6 HP. The annoying thing here is that my berries actually aren't activated, so maybe staying in with Arcanine would have been better. Like, just sacking last turn, staying in with Garchomp, and with Lele. But now the thing is, I know my opponent is Scarf Chomp, right? So, like, you can only lock yourself into something, but do you really want to lock yourself into Earthquake? Because, obviously, all the team is pretty low. I think my safest play here is to just protect the Lele this turn and withdraw Garchomp out into Arcanine. This is still going to be a really close finish. My opponent might also lock into Rock Slide, which would actually maybe help me, because then I don't think it would knock out Arcanine at -1, and it would give me the berry. But I'm thinking that was a slight misplay to bring in the initial Intimidate against Kartana, because I want my berry to be activated, because I can survive 2 Smart Strikes. Although I guess another Intimidate should allow me to survive a Smart Strike as well. I'm still protecting the Lele here, though, because I want to see what move Garchomp decides to lock itself into. It might be Poison Jab. That could be a solid call as well. You could, like, go for Poison Jab, but then if you do Poison Jab, then think that might put my Arcanine in berry range, which would be helpful. Because then I can just Bulldoze or Flare Blitz. So Lele's going to protect. Even though I am up 4-2 right now, it's still not like the best of positions. Vacuum Wave. Whoa. Interesting. Oh, my opponent actually does just Earthquake himself too. Huh. Vacuum Wave. What? That's crazy. That is really interesting. Okay. So that's frustrating because had I just Moonblasted Garchomp there, I would have won the game. But I'm not really sure I understand the Vacuum Wave decision. Like, why not just target down Tapu Lele? I don't know. That seems kind of odd. But I'll bring in Xurkitree now. So Garchomp's at -1. Kartana's at -2 now, I believe. And Garchomp's faster than Kartana, so that might actually proc my berry. That'd be super nice. Kartana could easily protect here. I think the play like covers... this is tricky, because I don't know how much... I mean, a Thunderbolt could knock out Kartana. Can I survive 2 Earthquakes from Garchomp on Xurkitree? I'm not sure. I'm definitely Moonblasting Garchomp here. The question is, what do I do with Xurkitree? I think Thunderbolting the Kartana is the play. Yeah, because Garchomp won't knock out Tapu Lele with an Earthquake. Okay, yep. So, ideally, Tapu Lele survives this, procs the berry, eats up the berry. Okay, nice. So that means I'm going to eat my berry with Tapu Lele, which means now, like, Kartana should not be able to Smart Strike knock out my Tapu Lele. And if it targets the... Yeah, so there's a Smart Strike. Okay, if this doesn't crit, I win. Nice. Nice. So Moonblast should just knock out Garchomp. Thunderbolt should knock out the Kartana. Oh, it's actually AV. Maybe I should have Gleamed. I'm at +1, but I don't have any special attack investment, really. Okay, we're good. I got a crit there. I don't think it matters. Like, I'm pretty sure +1 Moonblast knocks out, but I probably should have Dazzling Gleam. But the reason why I didn't want to was because... yeah, I guess Dazzling Gleam there is just a better play overall. I'm trying to think if there's any downside. Like, I knew Kartana was... I should have guessed it was Assault Vest, too. Based off, 1, the Earthquake damage output, and 2, the fact that I had Vacuum Wave. So, I'm trying to think why I Thunderbolted the Kartana there. I guess what I was thinking was, okay, if... Yeah, Kartana protects... Or no, if... Yeah. I'm like losing my train of thought right now. Either way, I win the game, but it probably would have been safer to Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, let me finish this game, and then I can fully think what I was thinking. Okay, so Kartana Leaf Blades here. Yeah, it's going to knock out Xurkitree probably. No, it doesn't even. Originally, I think the reason why I went for Thunderbolt was because I was like, okay, if I can take 2 Garchomp Earthquakes with Xurkitree, then a Thunderbolt like could knock out Kartana, and then I get the Beast Boost, and then single target Dazzling Gleam, I just knock out Garchomp. But thinking back, like that logic just doesn't really make much sense because 1, like I don't think Xurkitree's surviving 2 Earthquakes from Garchomp, even if it is intimidated. So all I needed to hope there was that the Kartana did not crit my Tapu Lele. And I think my opponent probably should have Leaf Bladed just to give a little bit more options. Like my opponent might not have been expecting the berry either, or was just thinking Earthquake plus Smart Strike would knock out. So in the end, the initial Intimidate did help out, but I probably should have Dazzling Gleam there just to be like 100% sure. But, I don't know, Garchomp had taken a little bit of chip damage already from Dragon Claw and my Garchomp earlier, and I figured Moonblast would knock out, but that's something I wasn't entirely sure of. And that, like, I knew the Garchomp was locked into Earthquake, so I knew if I knocked that out, and I have 2 Pokemon against my opponent's 1, I'd probably win the game, because at that point, the Kartana had already taken chip damage. But, yeah, that was a pretty intense game, for sure. We do end up with the win, but I feel like I could have made some cleaner plays here and there, but good game to my opponent, and I feel like my opponent played pretty well as well. Just overall... Yeah, the bulk helped, and I think Skydrop is a really risky move because if like what you expected happens, then that's great. But because I don't know, the thing is, my opponent, like, I guess after that turn 1, like regardless of what I did, I had a bunch of options for turn 2. I'm thinking maybe my opponent was hoping that I would stay in with Arcanine, but the thing is, when you lock yourself into Dragon Claw with Scarf Chop and you Skydrop, like, you reveal that your Scarf and then Garchomp has to Dragon Claw next turn, and so Dragon Claw isn't exactly the best move against my team. So, yeah, like, the turn 1 worked out well, but then afterwards, with Skydrop, you also just don't get to attack with Aerodactyl, so I was able to leverage that a little bit. Rock Slide, Calm Mind put me in a pretty good position, and I think, if anything, one thing I wish I had done was just staying in with Tapu Lele, knocking out the Feeny, taking a Smart Strike, and then being able to bring in Arcanine against a Kartana and a Garchomp and not switching into a Scald, because that would have put me in a really, really good position. But, yeah, just going to look for the next game today. Hopefully we find somebody soon. Alright, we're going to find Martin from the US with a rating of 1728 for our next opponent of the day. Martin running a team of Salamence, Marowak, Tapu Fini, Kartana, Celesteela, and Tapu Koko. So, feels pretty resemblant of a lot of the trends that we saw at Worlds. You know, Fini obviously becoming World Champion, as well as Koko, and Marowak actually, and Celesteela. A lot of the same Pokemon from the World Champions team. Salamence also saw an uptick in usage, and Kartana just always so good. So, this is tricky. This is very tricky. Like, Xurkitree would be great if there weren't a Marowak. Salamence could be the Assault Vest set. The other thing is, because I don't have Focus Sash on Ninetales, and, you know, you have to assume normally Kartana's running Smart Strike until you maybe see Substitute, then I can't really lead Ninetales freely either, which I would love to do here. So I'm thinking maybe, like, Garchomp and Arcanine. That, like, seems kind of solid. With Xurkitree, Lele in the back. So basically the same way I played out the last game. Just because I get the initial Intimidate off. Although I suppose the Salamence is actually, like, a major concern. So maybe I actually want to lead Xurkitree, just to put on pressure immediately, because I don't think the Marowak will come out immediately. So I could go Xurkitree, Arcanine, get an initial Intimidate off. With Garchomp and Lele in the back. I don't really know how I feel about this. Yeah, Mandibuzz is also something I could have considered bringing here, but I just really don't like bringing Mandibuzz against, like, Kokos. Like, could be Electrium Z. It's not exactly, I don't know, the best Pokemon to bring against Fini either, but I guess it's tough because when I don't bring Mandibuzz, that means, like, leave one of my best options to Speed Control on the bench. But the cool thing about this team is you have Speed Control with Arcanine and Bulldoze and Ninetales and Icy Wind as well. But we actually do see Fini and Marowak, so Garchomp would have been great next to next to the Arcanine. But that's okay. I mean, this is probably Specs Fini if I had to guess. Yeah. Intimidate's nice, but don't really know how much that can help right now. Kind of do want to just Tail Glow here. And I feel like I need to conserve the Arcanine because there is a Celesteela and a Kartana in the back. So I could switch that out into, like, Garchomp. Yeah, that seems pretty safe. Tail Glowing here is kind of risky because Marowak could double up. Like, we could see, like, a Moonblast, Shadow Bone, or Flare Blitz on the Xurkitree. So actually, maybe I should have just protected Xurkitree. But I really want to apply pressure immediately with it with Tail Glow. But now that I think about it, I'm not sure. Yeah, the Marowak doesn't protect. That's not good. So we'll see what Fini does here. Okay, just Muddy Waters? Yeah. There's a decent chance my Xurkitree just goes down here, though. Jeez. That's not bad. I mean, that's not good either. Goes for a Shadow Bone. Okay, I don't know if that knocks me out with the Intimidate. Nice. I do hang on. Okay. Well, that's good, at least. But the attack drop is not. Or the accuracy drop is not great. I want to say that's Specs Fini based off the damage output, but given my unfamiliarity with the team's calcs, I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to double protect this turn, though. Yeah. Scout, try to bait out a protect from Marowak, basically, because then next turn I can Tectonic Rage and Thunderbolt the Fini slot. Although a great play my opponent could make right now is switching out Marowak into something like Mence, and then switching back in Marowak. So yeah, I didn't lead Garchomp, because I was like, I think the chances of Marowak coming out as a lead are relatively slim. And had I just led Garchomp Arcanine, turn 1 I could have Helping Hand Tectonic Rage into a Tapu Fini, which would have been so nice for me. But didn't make that call there, unfortunately. Both Pokemon stay in, so that's already a good sign. If Marowak protects, then I'll really like my position going into the next turn, because that means it's a free Tectonic Rage and Thunderbolt into the Fini slot. Oh wow, Marowak makes the call not to protect, though. Nice call. Okay. But I think that's still fine. You're not going to be able to knock me out. Like, I could Rock Slide Dazzling Gleam right now, but I could also Tectonic Rage the Fini slot. It's just, do I want to make a hard read and say Marowak protects here? If you really think it would have to. So then what I could do is Tectonic Rage and Dazzling Gleam the Feeny slot. I'm going to make the read. Because I think it specs Feeny as well. So I will Dazzling Gleam and Tectonic Rage Tapu Fini. Okay, Marowak protects, nice. I'm hoping this knocks. I'm hoping I connect with Tech Rage first, because I did get an accuracy drop. I think when the animation shows, it means I hit. I actually don't remember that, just because it's relatively rare for a Z-move Pokemon to get its accuracy dropped. Let's see. Yep, so Tectonic Rage comes out, and yeah, it does hit. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it misses, it just says you miss. Or can you even... You can miss Z-moves, right? Or... I'm actually blanking out. I feel like maybe there's like a mechanic where like it actually... like Z-moves always hit, but you can get flinched. Is that right? I feel like this is like an obvious mechanic that I'm just like brain farting on right now, so you guys can let me know in the comments below. Yeah, okay. But either way, the read I make works out really nicely, and that works out. I felt like, yeah, it's just like you kind of have to protect the Marowak there. Even if Marowak doesn't protect, like, it's not going to knock out my Garchomp because it's intimidated, and you would have to Flare Blitz to knock out the Xurkitree, which means you would take Recoil, and then you'd kind of be in a bad position afterwards. So, regardless of who comes in, getting rid of Feeny is nice, just because it does a lot of damage, especially to the Arcanine that I have in the back. So, Tapu Koko comes in. Okay, that's also fine by me. I mean, first question I really gotta wonder is what kind of Koko set that is, but regardless, I think this is fine. I mean, it's not gonna be able to knock out my Garchomp with a Gleam if it's not Life Orbed. Oh, but you can't Thunderbolt me, so you have to Dazzling Gleam. Which means I get a free switch into Arcanine. And I can just Dazzling Gleam with Xurkitree. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's super safe. Like, by bringing Arcanine in, I decrease the Marowak's attack further. And... because you have Marowak out... Oh, you could Discharge, I guess, but Discharging just doesn't seem right now against a Garchomp Xurkitree. I don't think +4 Gleam even knocks out the Koko, since the Xurkitree is pretty bulky, but we'll see. Okay, Koko protects. Good play. I could have protected EQ there, but I wanted to scout out for what Koko was going to do. And that was a nice play on my opponent's end, because you probably know you're surviving that. But this means I can, yeah, wow, Marowak still takes that so well. And there's Flare Blitz coming out, yep. So, what this means, though, is because I do have Bulldoze, I can Bulldoze next turn, and actually survive the Flare Blitz as well, which is super nice. So, I'm going to protect Xurkitree this turn, and I'm definitely Bulldozing. Just because Bulldoze puts me in a phenomenal position going into next turn, because I can just Helping Hand Dazzling Gleam. Marowak's taking some chip damage, it's going to take even more damage with Bulldoze, and then Helping Hand Dazzling Gleam should be able to knock out both Marowak and Tapu Koko next turn. And because Tapu Koko protected my opponent's end, I know there's not really much my opponent can do. So I like the protect play there. It seems kind of risky, just because if I protect Xurkitree, I get a free Earthquake off against Marowak, and Marowak's not getting much mileage off either, but my opponent, you know... probably thinks right now, okay, Xurkitree is a really major threat, I have to knock it out right now. So yeah. I really need to double check on that Z-move mechanic though. I'm like kind of flustered that I don't remember exactly. Kartana comes in, which is even better for me. Although that probably... Ooh, that's actually bad. I might be eating up a Z-move here with Arcanine. Let's see. No, just Gleams. Okay, then that is honestly probably game. I think my opponent needed to maybe knock out Arcanine there to win the game. There's Bulldoze. Yeah. Could be Scarftana, I guess. Bulldoze right now is actually a decent offensive option too, which is funny. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to just click Dazzling Gleam and Flare Blitz. I don't see any way I can lose this at this point. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, maybe if you're Scarftana, but then that means, like, if you're Scarftana... Right now, both my Pokemon should be faster, unless they actually don't outspeed after Bulldoze, which is something I should actually... Actually, Koko's probably still faster here, but Kartana should be slower. So then I suppose I could lose if it's Scarftana, you outspeed Xurkitree. Let's see, Scarftana, you outspeed Xurkitree, Koko Z moves into Arcanine, and I lose both of my Pokemon. But then I would bring in Garchomp, which I think should be faster than the Koko. and Cortana at -1. I just don't remember the exact speed stats. Probably should have checked that actually before I used or made my moves. But Cortana switches out. Okay, nice play. Into Marowak, that's fine. So the moment of truth. Okay, I'm faster with Xurkitree, yeah. So we're good. So yeah. What is this? A +5 Xurkitree now? Jeez. So that's gonna get the boost as well. I think Flare Blitz might just knock out the Marowak, but even if not, like all I have to do is just protect Bulldoze again, and I win the game. Yeah. So I really was able to win this game off that big play of expecting Marowak to protect and just Tech Raging the Tapu Fini and Dazzling Gleaming there. So that's why I did want to go for that early Tail Glow, just because I just put on more pressure with Xurkitree, and Xurkitree really was the MVP of this match. Like, it was able to put on so much pressure, even as staring down at Marowak, like. Just knocking out the Fini there, my opponent not getting any mileage off that meant that I was in a super, super good position afterwards. And yeah, obviously it's 4-1, so both my Pokemon just knock out Cortana, I just Flare Blitz and Thunderbolt. So, yeah, pretty happy about the episode overall. Sacred Sword comes out, gonna target down the Arcanine, so Xurkitree, I think, will literally get to +6 special attack by knocking out the Tapu Fini, what else did it knock out? The Tapu Koko and the Cortana, so, wow, I don't think I've ever been able to get him on to... Oh, actually, it doesn't get the actual boost, but we do end up with a win anyway. So, good game to Martin there. Really tough call there where I had to, I think, double up on Glowfini, but I figured it was just, like, far too risky for the Fini, or the Marowak not to protect there, especially when my opponent didn't protect the previous turn. And I figured I was willing to make a gamble. I also still think it was Specs Fini, based off how much money Water did against Xurkitree. Not entirely sure, but I'm, like... I was kind of confident on that, so because of that assumption, I was like, okay, I'm just going to double into Fini. Even if not, it's just like, there's little reason for Fini to protect there, and Marowak just, staying in against a Garchomp that has Tectonic Rage is still really, really risky. So, we do climb into the 1700s with the team, so pretty cool. We've been able to get, I think, around 100 points or so, climbed from the 1600s to the 1700s with the team, but obviously still a couple more episodes left I want to use this team with before switching, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Go check out Sam once again, give him a follow on Twitter. As always, if you enjoyed the episode, please share your support by leaving a like in the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, peace.